Join me as I take on the Walmart Santa Bust Viral Challenge. I'm excited to share this fun and crafty challenge with you, as I will be transforming these ordinary Santa busts into unique and creative pieces to sell this holiday season. Hi, my name is Sylvia from Backyard Brushes in Fountain City, Wisconsin. As many of you know, I am obsessed with Santa this year, so this Santa Bust Challenge is the perfect timing for me. Hopefully you've grabbed a couple busts, and if not, I suggest doing so before they sell out. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's get creating. First, I decided to make 3 labels. I chose to use the IOD Apothecary mold, at least I think it's called the Apothecary mold. Using IOD, I pressed the clay into the mold after using a paintbrush to lightly spread some cornstarch in. Using my fingers, I just pressed the IOD clay out towards the rim. And using my fingernails, I was able to just trim the excess clay right off and popped the labels right out. I was going to use Saint Nick, Saint Nick, and that was too big. So then I was going to go with S-Claus. That too was too big for my label. So in the end, I went with Claus. And I just pressed Claus, his name, right into the label. Using Titebond glue, I evenly spread the glue over the back of each label. I also used some E6000 jewelry glue. It dries clear, and I've had really good results. The Titebond takes approximately 10 minutes, and it's really good, strong glue, but I just decided to use the E6000 mixed with the Titebond, yet it does take overnight to set, so I just think it's a really great duo for adhering objects to each other. So I'm just going to spread a little bit of that E6000 jewelry glue right in with the Titebond and centering it, pressing it right into the stand of the Santa bust. Was I worried about it being perfectly centerized? Not at all. And I just pressed it down. I did this 3 times, 1 on each bust, and I let them dry overnight. For the first bust, I decided I really liked that croc color I had made in a previous video. So using Faded Burlap by DIY, I mixed in Crenaline by DIY to get more of that croc color. The burlap takes a little bit of the yellow out of the Crenaline, and the Crenaline kind of lightens up the burlap. So I feel it's a really good combination that I really like. And I just stirred my paint. And I liked the color, so I didn't have to add any more. And I gave the bust 2 complete coats of the paint. Once it was dry, I went over the label with DIY Dark and Decrepid Liquid Patina. And then I decided to do the whole base of the Santa bust. I did do 2 coats. Once that was dry, I decided to use the PentArt Fine Line Crackle and it was kind of difficult with all the detail in the Santa to give it a really good even coat, but I did my best, and I covered the whole Santa bust and the base with the fine line Crackle component 1. I let that dry overnight. No, I take that back. I let that dry for approximately an hour. You can see when the white kind of dissipates, it's time to use the part B. So then I went over with the part B component. What I missed was once that dried overnight, I did take some dark and decrepid dust and I stippled that into the Santa to pop out the cracks. And then once it was all dry, I covered it with the varnish by PentArt, and I was able to get this really cool crackling effect on my Santa. I also used Golden Ticket by DIY to paint in the claws. For the second bust, I decided to use the Dixie Belle copper patina paint, and it did take 3 coats of the copper to fully cover the Santa bust. I really like these patina paints, and I will leave a link in the description I order mine through Julie's Signs and Designs, and I can leave a link in the description. Once he had 2 coats on, I applied the 3rd coat, and I just evenly painted around the bust. I'm going to use the green spray by Dixie Belle, and the coat of copper patina does need to be wet when you adhere the spray. So after applying the spray, the copper patina, I just evenly applied the spray. Once that dried, I sealed it with Big Top by DIY. And he was done. It was that easy. For Santa 3, I painted him with the iron Dixie Belle paint and with the green spray also to give him a rusty effect. I had one vision in my head which didn't come through. I went a totally different route after painting him. I did choose to use the milk paint by Sweet Pickens. And I am going to, I looked on ChatGPT to get a recipe, and I'm just using, I think is it white linen? And I just did like a tablespoon of the white. Then using red Wagon, I did like maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then I went in with sunflower, did probably like 1/8 of a teaspoon, just smaller amounts. I used Suitcase by Sweet Pickens and Denim by Sweet Pickens. I mixed up the paint with water, and it actually did work to get a Caucasian skid tone color. So I was actually kind of surprised. I did place, after mixing up the milk paint, I did place it aside to sit. And I also mixed up some white Sweet Pickens, white linen, some antique Ironstone, some red Wagon, some Basil. And I mixed the denim with the white for his eyes. And I just went through and I painted Santa 2 coats of the Sweet Pickens paint. And I could have gotten away with not rusting the whole bust. and painted it brown or black. And after each layer of paint, I did hit it with a heat gun to get that crackling effect. And his beard is actually Ironstone, and it's a little bit of a grayish white. And the trim of his hat, the fuzz on his suit, and the ball on his hat are all done in the white, I think it's white linen, Sweet Pickens milk paint. I get my milk paint samples from Sonic Garden Bloom's Maker's Box every month, so it's really fun to try the different colors. Using DIY clear wax, I covered my Santa. I then went in and I stifled the DIY dark wax, and I completely covered Santa. I had such great crackling from the milk paint that I did not sand any of the paint off and just use the wax to bring out the crackle in the Santa. My original vision was to have some crackly, chippy milk paint with the rust underneath. But after the great crackle I got, I just went with it and I didn't force to take any of it off. Using the Dixie Belle gold gilding wax, I went and I painted in the claws for Santa, similar to what I did before that I did not get videotaped on the previous Santa with the golden ticket. And this gilding wax was really easy to use, and it is also by Dixie Belle. And I found using the paintbrush versus my finger worked really nice with the indentation of the letters. And I did use my fingers to kind of blend in, fade out the excess wax that was not in the letters that I got. Like, I colored outside the lines, we'll say, and then I just smeared it with my fingers. And I also did the edging. And I really do like this wax. I think it gave it a nice pop. And when I rubbed it with my fingers, that green also came through. So it did look a little bit old and, I don't know, buffed out. Well, it wasn't buffed out. Faded out, I guess would be more of the proper terms. And I went over the edges, which was really easy with the detail in the mold, to just rub the brush right over it. And you were just able to pick up those details so easily. Those IOD molds still just amaze me. And I just rubbed it right in, blending it right over on top of the green. And then it was really easy with the Lazy Susan. I just laid the brush right into the crevices of the stand and finished off the detail with the gold wax. And I just loved the crackle I got from the Sweet Pickens milk paint. Please let me know in the comments below which one of these Santas was your favorite. And also, I would love to know if you're going to participate in the Walmart Santa Bus Challenge this year. If you found this video inspirational, please hit subscribe below and follow me along on my creative journey. Thank you.